Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om. Om Sukham Nityam Saprakasham Vyapam Nama Rupayoho Adhishthanam Buddhyabodhyam Buddher Drugyattu Nirmalam Aparam Sarva Vedanta Vedyam Pratyak Param Mahaha Tadevaham Namattonyat Iti Me Nishchita Matihi. Atha Chaturtha Staranga. Next we are going into the fourth chapter, fourth wave. Okay. So the third wave we saw what is the definition of a Sadguru and what is the definition of a Sat Sishya. When we say Sadguru, we can also call Sat Sishya, a Sishya who is a proper disciple. Okay. Now, in the fourth chapter, Atha Uttamadhikarina Upadesha Nirupanam Nama. Now, how should the Guru, see now we know what the Sat Shishya, the proper disciple should do, how he should have to approach. After approaching, what he should have to do, he should have to serve him and find a right opportunity to ask the question, and then ask him the question. So those where the groundwork is done. Now, that disciple who is the best among the seekers, he should be given the instruction. How do we give the instruction? How do we teach him? Because see, though Vedanta is a one non-dual, the teaching cannot be same for everyone. The teaching cannot be same for everyone. In allopathy medicine, let us say, the medicine for headache, if we say aspirin or whatever, if you say that, then that's a common medicine for everyone. Whether he is a beggar or he is a rich person, whether he is that person is young or old, does not really matter. Same medicine. But in Ayurveda, they don't treat you with same medicine. Though the disease may be same, they don't treat you with the same medicine. Because Ayurveda principle accepts that you can change the nature of the person from sattvic to rajasic to tamasic, any which way. You can change the nature of the person through medicine itself, not just treat him. So the kind of medicine you give to a person you should be very careful. You cannot give a sattvic or tamasic medicine to a king. Similarly, to a sadhu, you cannot give a rajasic or tamasic medicine. So these kind of things the doctor sees. Now here, when we are going to teach the disciple, what kind of disciple he is? If he is a very dull disciple, we have to tell stories and all that and explain things. But if he is a best seeker, then you don't have to beat around the bush. You can just go straight. So explain the hardcore Vedanta. Now, for that, how should you teach? For that kind of disciple, how you should have to teach? Don't have to worry about our chapter is after 2 chapters. This is 4th chapter, 5th chapter, then 6th chapter is there. We'll wait till that, but we'll understand this also. Chaturtha Staranga Idanim Guru Shishya Samvadatmika Kachana Apurva Akshaika Virachate. We are used to stories now. In Panchatantra, which we are studying, we saw about the king who had 3 idiot sons. Now here we have a king who has 3 not idiot sons, very intelligent sons. Okay, so he says, Idanim Guru Shishya Samvadatmika Kachana Apurva Akshaika Virachate. So we already said that to teach someone, it is easier to teach in a dialogue mode. And if the dialogue is between the guru and disciple, it's better. We saw that. So that way of story, that way of presentation is what is going to be done. So a story is set as a background to that. एतत् श्रवणमात्रेण जिज्ञासुः मोक्षुः आत्मविचारे भृशं समर्थो भवेत्. So just by listening to this story with these dialogues, a person who is a smart person who desires the knowledge and desires the liberation can gain the desired. Okay, he becomes eligible to inquire into the self. Okay, Avarta 122 to 124. शुभसन्ततेः राज्ञः तत्त्वदृष्टिः अदृष्टिः इति तर्कदृष्टिरिति समाख्यातानां तत्पुत्राणां च कथा. शुभसन्ततेः, शुभसन्तति is the name of the king. He is a king. Rajñah, he is a king. Shubhasantati is the name of the king. He has 3 sons. First son's name is Tattvadrushti, second is Adrushti, third is Tarkadrushti. Okay, Tattvadrushti, Adrushti, Tarkadrushti. These are 3 names for the sons. Tat putranam cha katha. Now we are going to enter into the story of that Shubhasantati, the king, and his 3 sons. Tattvadrushti, Adrushti, Tarkadrushti. Okay. 122. Shubhasantatehe Trailokya-adhipatyam. Shubhasantati is not just any king. He is a king who was ruling over all the 3 worlds. So that is established first. What kind of king are we talking about? See, why we have to say this? People say, I gave up everything. What did you have? I had nothing. Then how can you say I gave up everything? So if you want to give up everything, then that prior to that state, what you, so only then you can see the vairagya and viveka of that person. So to establish the vairagya and viveka of that person, Shubhasantati's background is analyzed. He says, Shubhasantati nama kaschana raja lokatrayam anushasasa. There was this king. He is not just a king, he was an emperor who was ruling all the 3 worlds. All the 3 worlds means this world, the in-between world, and the heaven. All the 3 worlds. Okay, now tasyaha trayah putraha, and he had 3 sons. Who are they? Okay, Tattvadrushti, Adrushti, Tarkadrushti Vityacha Vikhyataha, and they are very famous. Their names, their activities, their smartness, their intelligence is very famous. The first son is Tattvadrushti. Tattva means truth, Drushti means perceiver, a person who is capable of seeing the truth. The name implies also the characteristics of a person. Adrushti, this person does not have that kind of a analyzing quality. He is intelligent, smart, but he does not understand this truth immediately. He should not be explained. The third one is the most difficult. Before saying that, I'll explain a story. In WhatsApp, they share this posters. There was one poster I saw in somebody's WhatsApp, which said, the doctor's fee. Okay. The doctor says, 100 rupees for consultation. 100 rupees for consultation. If I have to prescribe medicines, then I'll charge 150. If you have some medicines in mind, then I'll charge 200. If I have to explain the WhatsApp discussions, clarify the WhatsApp knowledge of yours, then I'll charge 500. Like that day, he gives it's a thing. That is a joke kind of. But when I went to this doctor, he started prescribing me a medicine for something, and it was not a serious issue, and I thought I'll take care of it. I said, should I am I getting married to this medicine? Because this lifestyle diseases, all these medicines are like you are getting married to it. You cannot quit it. Diabetes for life.
Yeah.
You take pressure medicine for life. You take thyroid medicine for life. All these medicines, they are for life. So the doctor said, looked at me and said, you know, he looked at me and then he saw the next Swamiji says, Swamiji, do you know one thing? It's very difficult to treat the educated people. It is better to have uneducated people with the disease. Okay, Swamiji, if you have this range, you have to take this medicine. If you have this range, you have to take medicine. If you have this range, you have to take medicine. If you have this range, you have to take this medicine. You don't have to come to me again. So this is the situation of people after this WhatsApp and internet. They see so many diseases and saw us. They themselves analyze it and think that they have those diseases. The biggest problem now. And they go to the doctor and say, why do you give this medicine? Actually, should you not prescribe that medicine to me? They discuss it with him. They argue with him. So we are talking about that kind of person who is Tarka Drishti. He is an intelligent person. He's a smart person. But the problem is he is a student of WhatsApp University. So that is why Tarka Drishti. Tarka Drishti means a person who has the analyzing skill. Therefore, he should be the first disciple, right? But he says, no. This person has logic in his head, but a WhatsApp University student. So he has to be taken care of specially. So that is the third son. First son is a Tattva Drishti. Tattva Drishti means he has already a idea, clarity, focus. So it is very easy to explain to him. Second is Adrishti. He does not know, but he is ready to learn. Easy. Third is a Tarka Drishti. He already has some ideas. First, the disciple, guru should have to break his ideas and teach. That is why he is kept for the final. So he says, Chatushastra Pravinascha. So he says these three are the names of the disciples, but don't think that they are like Panchatantra's sons. They are not like Panchatantra sons. They are emperor's son, king's son, but they are not idiots. Chatushastra Pravina, they're experts in all the Shastras. They're experts. They're intelligent. Okay, now they are experts. I'm talking about them. So techa kramena asmin granthe chaturtha panchama shashta tarangeshu uttama madhyama kanishthaadhikarittvena varnyante. Techa, those three sons, kramena in respective order, fourth chapter, fifth chapter, sixth chapter, chaturtha, panchama, shashta. Fourth, fifth, and sixth chapter. In these chapters, these three disciples are going to be explained. Okay, who is the best among them? So for that, he says, okay, normally, how do we analyze? When we inquire into it, we take the dull one first, the mediocre one second, the best one the last. That's how we treat. No. Best one, it is easy for us to do his job and finish it off. This is a beautiful logic. We call it Suchi Kataha Nyaya. The logic is called as Suchi Kataha Nyaya. Suchi means a needle. Kataha means pan. Logic, Nyaya means. So the logic of needle and pan. What? Needling a pan? No. Then what? So there is a ironsmith. You go to him. You ask him, somebody is asking him to make a pan. And there is another order which comes. He says, I want a needle. And which one should the this blacksmith do? Oh, first come, first service. This fellow asked for the pan, so I no. Quick money, 2 minutes job. So he'll take this needle job first, finish it off, and then take care of this pan. So similarly, the easier person to handle is the best disciple. So he is taking that person as the first. Uttama, Madhyama, Kanishtadhikarittvena varnyante. The first one is the fourth chapter is for the best seeker. Fifth chapter is for the mediocre seeker. And the sixth chapter is for the below par seeker. Okay, Varnyante. We cannot call it worst seeker. The last among them. Raja tu Shubha Santatihi Shaishavam Kridayam Yauvanam cha Stri Bhoge Vinyunjanah api Bhujabalena Lokatrayam api Nyayena Margena Palayant. Now, what kind of king? So you spoke about the sons of the king. They are the important one. But why did the sons, because they are the Jignasus, Mumukshus. Why did they get this desire for knowledge? Where did they get from? Because they are prince. Why will they get this desire for understanding knowledge? So that part of the story should be explained. So he is going to the king again. The king, Rajatu, Shubha Santati, the Shubha Santati Raja, Shaishavam, his childhood days, Kridayam, were spent on playing. Yavvanam, Stri Bhoge, during his adulthood, he was with the women. And Vinunjanopi, though he was experienced these kind of things and spending his time, but still Swabhujabalena Lokatrayamapi Nyayena, through the strength of his shoulder, meaning through his valor and strength, he was taking care of his kingdom, the whole universe, whatever, three universes, in proper way. Nyayena Margena, in a very proper way. Okay? No, he's a good king. 123. Putreshu Rajyam Samarpya Shubhasantatehe Pravrajanam. Shubhasantati, after giving all the kingdoms, distributing the kingdoms among the sons, he is leaving the kingdom to take to sannyasa. So that is Pravrajanam, means he is leaving the kingdom for taking renunciation. Tasya Rajnyaha Kadachit Swapurvapunyavashat Atma Ajaha Nityaha Nirdishi Ananda Swarupascha Tato Anyat Sarvam Dukhatmakamiti Veka Udiyaya. Now, that king, because of his past punya karmas, which started giving fruits, because we have been repeating again and again, other than the past punya karma fructification, there can be no other reason for us entering into this spirituality. I'm not talking about religion, we are talking about spirituality. Talking about the self, understanding the self. Though the teaching of the self will be in front of us, we will not be interested. We will not be interested unless and until the right time. What is the right time? The right time is the fructification of the past punya karmas. That can come in different for different reasons, through different reasons. A, you fail terribly in life, exams or job or whatever, health, whichever may be the reason. The reason is not important here. Normally, the cause is important. Here, the cause is not important. What do you do after that is important. I have seen some monks, renunciates, who are there in Rishikesh and other places. Some people, they were thrown out of their house by their wives. Thank you. Bye-bye. After coming to Rishikesh, what are they doing? Some will be, oh, this, my wife threw me out, my wife threw me out. He'll be only singing the same song. Some people just forget about it, carry forward, study, and be established in the self. What do you do after that? After the failure, that is what is important. So he says that king, after experiencing all this, after taking control of all the three worlds, what does he say? Atma Ajaha, self is eternal, unborn. Nitya, eternal. Nirtishi, Ananda Swarupascha, also bliss, absolute bliss. And Tato Anyat Sarvam Dukhatmakam, everything else other than that is of the nature of pain, sorrow. Iti Veka Udiyaya. This kind of a discrimination he gained. How did he gain that discrimination? Because of the past punyas. He realized this, he understood this. Okay. Tadaso achintayat. Then he started thinking. After gaining this kind of discrimination, he started thinking, okay, what should I do? Aham atma vicharam kuryam. I will do inquiry into the self. Trayah putra mama lokatrayam palayantu. Let my three sons take care of the three worlds. That kind of thought came into his mind. ततः मंत्री द्वारा पुत्रान् स्वसमीपम् आनाय स्वस्य भोगे वैराग्यम् एकान्ते च रतिं तेभ्यो निवेद्य राज्याधिकारम् अंगीकर्तुं तान् आज्ञापयन् एकैकस्मै एकैकं लोकं विभज्यादात्. Okay, what he did is he called the sons through the ministers. He called the ministers and the sons. Okay. Now this is the situation. Swasya bhoge vairagyam ekante ratimcha. His desire for renunciation, his state of dispassion, and the desire for staying alone for meditation purpose. This he presented in front of them. Okay, good. What do you want us to do? So then he said, okay, Rajyadhikaram Angikartum Tan Agnapan. He ordered them to take care of the kingdom now. Now you people should have to take care of the kingdom. Okay. Then he split the kingdom into three portions and gave each one a place to rule. Okay. Now, Vibhajya Rajyadani Putrana Mitha Kalaha Tan Mulakataya Prajanam Dukkham cha bhavediti Manvanaha Raja Swayameva Swarajam Putrebhya Vibhajyadat. Okay, which one do you want? That one? This one? This one? Then there will be a problem. Oh, you gave him because he asked that, you gave him. You didn't give me that. I wanted that. How can you give? So there will be misunderstanding between three sons. There will be fight. If they start fighting, then it will lead to destruction of peace, loss of peace for the people in the kingdom. So thinking about that, Swayameva Swarajyam Putrebhya Vibhajyadat. He himself distributed the kingdom to these three people. He himself said, okay, you take care of this, you take care of this, and you take care of this. Now, will there not be any fight? No. People were showing respect to elders. That was the period then. Showing respect to elders. So, when the elder and the father, if he decides something, they take it as the order. So, they accepted. Yatra manava mritaha san Parameshwar. Okay, where did he go? After giving up the kingdom, where did he go? So, he starts explaining that. Yatra manava mritaha san Parameshwarat Taraka mantra upadesham labdhva anayasena muktim labheta yatra cha sarvantaryami vishveshwaraha sada sanniyetaha yatra cha atigambhira ganga uttaravahini iti pratitha pravati tatra kashi nagare stitva swarajyam palayitum putran adidesha saraja swaswa. Where did he go? Yatra manavaha mritaha san parameshwara taraka mantropadesham ludva anayasena muktim labheta. Where after dying, everyone gets initiated into this mantra called Taraka Mantra. Taraka Mantra. Taraka Mantra. Mantra which helps you to cross over. Through Tarane is the root word, which helps you to cross over the ocean of samsara. That kind of mantra is called as Taraka Mantra. Taraka Mantra is not a mantra like any other mantra, meaning, oh, Shiva Mantra, Ram Mantra, Krishna Mantra, Taraka Mantra. I want Taraka Mantra. Don't be stupid. Every mantra is a Taraka Mantra. Now here, with reference to the Taraka mantra, the mantra we are talking about is Parameshwara Taraka Mantropadesham. From the Parameshwara himself, from the Shiva himself, the mantra is going to be initiated. The mantra is going to initiate him in this Om Namah Shivaya. After dying, Shiva himself will initiate people in this mantra to cross over the ocean of samsara. And after gaining that, anayasena muktim labheta, without any difficulty, they will gain liberation. That is the first adjective for the place. The second explanation for the place. Yatra cha sarvantaryami Vishveshwara sada sannita, where Vishveshwara, who is the indweller in everyone, he resides always. Okay. Third, Yatra cha atigambhira Ganga Uttarawahiniti Praticha Pravavati, where the Ganga goes in Uttaravahini. Uttaravahini means the normal direction of the river to flow is from north to south. Okay. So from up to down, from north to south, that is how the river flows. Suddenly in this place, it takes a detour and goes up. Uttaravahini means it flows to the north. A river, wherever a river flows towards north, that area is considered to be a very sacred spot. Uttaravahini is considered to be a sacred spot. And that is the place we are talking about. Three adjectives for that place. One is where the Shiva himself initiates people in the mantra to cross over the ocean of samsara after their death. The place where Shiva himself as Vishveshwara, the indweller, rules the world and stays always. And where the Ganga flows in the northern direction. What is this place? It says, Tatra Kashi Nagare, in that Kashi. Kashi is the name of the place. Varanasi, Kashi is the name of the place. So we have to understand, see, before I explain anything else, I have to explain this Parameshwara Taraka Mantra. This is a very common thing. It's a common idea which people are given in India especially. And in India, many old age people, then and now, they go and stay put in Kashi waiting for their death. Because after death, they are going to be liberated. Easy. It's not easy peasy, don't worry. The thing is, there are explanations like this. Kashi Nagare Maranat Muktihi. In Kashi, if you die, you will get liberation. And Arunachalam Smaranat Muktihi. If you think about Arunachala means Tirunamala. If you think about it, Smaranat Muktihi. Even thinking about it gives you liberation. These are all very beautiful statements which when you hear will be very attractive. But I tell you, Arunachala hill, beautiful hill. Arunachala, Tirunamalai, Annamalai, did something happen? No. What we refer to here is when if you don't have the practice of this may be the thing. Okay, Shiva comes and initiates them into the mantra, but they should have to chant it. If you don't have the practice of doing it, then just because you stay in Kashi, then the whole world will become Kashi actually. The whole world will become, how can the whole world will become Kashi? Okay, a country like this part of Ireland is called as Southern Ireland. The other part is Northern Ireland. Okay, so let there be unified Ireland in future. Then later, England comes and joins in Ireland with Ireland. Then England also becomes Ireland. Then European Union says we also want to become Ireland. So The whole of Europe becomes Ireland. Then seeing this greatness of Ireland, then the whole Russia, China, everyone wants to be called as Ireland. So just for fun, so don't worry. Thing is, like that, if Kashi becomes a place for liberation, then everyone want to expand the place of Kashi. This is also Kashi. Ireland, yes, we also are related to Kashi because we are under the reign of Kashi. Everything will become Kashi. That is not how it is. So, without we being able to inquire into the self and understand the self, otherwise the whole text will become redundant, useless. Why will a person study this text? Instead of studying this text, it is easy to go and take a place in Kashi and die there. Why suffer all this teaching? So he says this, because you go to this place, you will become liberated. You stay in this place, you will become liberated. You remember about this place, you will become liberated. You think about this place, you will become liberated. Speak about this place, you will become liberated. All these are to eulogize that place, to praise that area. That's all. You should not take it verbatim. Literally, you should not understand that. So he says, okay, Uttravahini, these are the greatness of Kashi, that is all. And Vishveshwara, the name of the Shivalinga there is called as Vishveshwara, Vishwanatha. So he is the Lord of the Kashi. I'll tell you. See, this after being said, okay, Kashi is the place where Shiva will initiate us into the Taraka mantra after death. Fine. If you want to go to stay in Kashi, I'll tell you one thing. Kashi is a place where the water is so polluted, the heat is so, it's a killer actually. The water is polluted. You cannot drink the water. That is the situation of Kashi. And whatever you do, you stay there, whatever you eat, drink, you are going to have an upset stomach. You will have some or other difficulty when you go and stay in Kashi. So what people do is they first go to this Lord of Kashi, the ruler of Kashi, called Kala Bhairava, Shiva in another form. They go to his temple, pray, please allow me to stay in Kashi. So you have to take permission. We call that Kshetra Pala, Kshetra Devata. In India, in every place, we have this Kshetra Devata. Kshetra means a place. Devata means deity. A deity who is the protector of that area. They gain the precedence over other deities. You have to ask the permission. Now, if Viklo had a Kshetra Devata, you have to go to that temple and say, please, I want to stay in this place. Please help me. If you leave, like in the police station, we say, okay, I'm leaving. I'm not going to stay here for this much time and all that. Similarly, you have to go to Kshetra Pala and say, please, sir, take care of everything. I'll be not here for this much period. You have to say that. Even if the Shiva is ready to initiate you into Taraka Mantra, Kala Bhairava won't allow you to stay if you don't take permission from him. So that is the situation. Now in that Kashi, he goes and stays. From staying there, Swaswa Rajyam Palayitum Putran Adidesha Saraja. He ordered his sons to take care of their own kingdoms. You take care of. I am now staying here. Punarapisa Putra Navochat. And he told the sons again these words. I am Aparaha Samsara, Dukha Rupaha. Pamarastu tam Sukharupam Atva Samsarika Bhogaya Dhanam Eva Atyadarena Uparjayanti. Natu Muktyartham Atma Vicharam Kurvanti. Idrisha Pamarajanehi Saha Vasam Vihaya Ekante Nichasukalabhaya Aham Yatishye. So he decided to go to Kashi and he tells them, what am I doing and why am I doing this? You have to understand, because you have the rights. You are my sons. Okay, I'm telling you this. I am aparaha samsara dukkha rupa. This samsara, which is limitless, is of the nature of pain, sorrow. Okay, now Pamarastu, the illiterate people, the worldly people, tam sukharupam matva samsarika bhogaya dhanameva atyadarana parjanti. They think that this is of the nature of happiness. They think this world to be of the nature of happiness. Therefore, to experience more and more happiness, they start earning more and more wealth. Dhanameva uparjanti atyadarana, with more love and care, they start earning money. Natu muktyartham atma vicharam kurvanti. They don't put forth any effort to gain the liberation. They don't put forth any effort. Idrisha pamara janaihi saha vasam vihaya. Giving up, staying with these kind of illiterate people, ekante nichusukalabhaya aham yatishya. I am going to stay alone and put effort to gain that absolute bliss. This is why I am leaving this place. 124. Putranapi rajya jihasa. Now, the sons are not stupid. They are very intelligent, I told you. After hearing, the father says, these illiterates, these stupid fellows, they are interested in money, but not me. I want to gain the absolute bliss. Sons think, oh, then if after experiencing all this, father understands this, then father is an intelligent person. So what he says is true. We'll also give up. Jihasa means the desire to give up. They desire to give things up. So he says, Pitruvakyam idam shrutva, 124th avarta. Pitruvakyam idam shrutva, Sat yukti buddhi yuktaha trayopi putraha ekante sambhuya evam samalochayan. Pitruvakyam idam shrutva. After hearing this statement of the father, Sadyukti buddhi yuktaya. These trayopi, these three sons, what kind of sons are they? Sadyukti, they have the right logic and intelligence. Buddhi yuktaya, they have intelligence and right logic. Just intelligence is not enough. Just right logic is not enough. You have to have right logic and have intelligence to apply that. You have intelligence and have the right logic to use that intelligence. So they are complement to each other. So these people, they were having the right logic, the logical brain, as well as they were intelligent, smart people. So they ekante sambhuya evam sama. They gathered in a secluded place and started inquiring, thinking about this loudly, sharing the thoughts with each other. Pita asman samsara sagare dukkhodake patayitva swayam brahmanandam pradipatsi. Our father, we have to talk about him. What is about our father? Samsara sagare dukkhodake patayitva asman. He leaves us in the ocean of samsara, the ocean of sorrow, and swayam brahmanandam prapitsati. He desires to gain the ocean of bliss, absolute bliss. He wants to throw us into the ocean of samsara and himself want to experience the absolute bliss. Yasmad atma vicharas asaktah apara dukkha surupatvat akhandam asapatnam api rajyam pitaji hasti. Because of which, to gain that absolute bliss, desiring to gain that absolute bliss, father, what does he do? Atma vichara asakta. He is attracted, he is involved in the inquiry into the self. Inquire into the self. Okay, I am interested in inquiring into the self, doing this, doing that. No. He has no obstacles actually to stay put in his place. So he's explained that apar dukkha surupatvat, since this is of the nature of a great sorrow, great pain. What is this? The kingdom. What kind of kingdom are we talking about? Oh, always some enemy or other will be attacking this kingdom, or there will be some or other riot in the kingdom. No. It says, Akhandam Asapatnam api rajyam, this kingdom which is a whole, Akhandam. It's not divided into pieces, it is whole, a huge area. Plus a Asapatnam, it is not attacked by any enemies. There are no enemies, there are no obstacles there. There are no problems there. That kind of Rajyam, that kind of kingdom, Pita Jihasti, father desires to give up. Our father desires to give up this situation where there is no problem for him. He can stay put and do that, whatever he wants. But he wants to give up this up. Tasma, therefore, Vayamapi idam rajyam atyanta dukkha swarupam parityajena. Therefore, we also will give up this kingdom, which is of the nature of sorrow only. Because our father, he gave up. Though there is no obstacles, there are no enemies to attack us, still he gave up. Therefore, we will also give up. All these three smart people, they decided. Okay. 125. Swagrihat nirgatya trayanam guru upasadam. After quitting their home, all these three reached the Guru. Evam nirniya te trayopi putraha mukshavaha shubhasantati iti pitrur nama anvarthi kurvantaha sadgurum anveshtum raja grihat niryayuhu. Evam nirniya, after deciding this, te trayopi putraha, those three sons, who are they? Mukshava, those desiring the liberation. Shubha Santati iti Pitrnamanvarthi, the sons who follow the footsteps of their father, Shubha Santati. Shubha Santati, they follow the footsteps of the father, Shubha Santati, and they stay true to the name of Shubha Santati. Shubha Santati, the name itself means, like we understood the meaning of the sons' names. Shubha Santati. Shubha means auspicious. Santati means people, sons. Sons of auspiciousness. That is their name. So they stayed true to their name. Therefore, Sadgurum Anveshtum Rajagrihat Niryayuhu, to find the proper Guru, they left the kingdom. They left their palace. Rajagriha means palace. Aneka deshan atitva antatah te gangatatamev prapya tatra vivikte deshe atyunnata shastra askandha phala palasha shalibihi phala palasha shalibihi vrikshaihi nibidite vane kasyachit vatataror mule chinmudriya jivormaikyam swasishyebhyo nirdushtebhyo Upadishantam Gunatitam Shakshat Gurum Dadrushuhu. Now, Aneka Deshan Atitwa, after roaming around in different places, different countries. Antataha, finally, Te Ganga Tatameva Prapya, they also came to the banks of Ganges. In Panchatantra, banks of Yamuna. Here, banks of Ganges. And they also came to the banks of Ganges. What does that mean? Their father is also in banks of Ganges. He is in Kashi. These people also came to some place where there is Ganges. Okay, so they came to that place. And Tatra Vivikte Desha, in a secluded place, Atyunnata Shakha Skandha Pala Palasha Shalibihi Vrikshahi. There were Nibidite, there were very many trees which had good fruits and good trees with branches and branches spreading over through different directions and huge trees. It's full of that kind of environment. Okay, in that place, Vane, that kind of forest. Kasyachit vatataror mule, in under some banyan tree. Vata Vata means banyan. Taru means tree. Under the banyan tree, Mula means the root, under the base. Under the banyan tree, Chinmudraya Jiva Brahmaikyam Sasibshebhyo Nirdishtebhyo Upadashantam. The Guru who is instructing his disciples through Chinmudra, the identity between the individual self and absolute self. In Dakshinamurti Stotra, we say Chinmudraya Bhadraya, the auspicious, the sacred Chinmudra he was showing. Dakshinamurti was showing. He will be equating this Guru also as Dakshinamurti. Gurus always are seen as Dakshinamurti. Now, Chinmudra. Chinmudra means what is Chinmudra? Chinmudra is the mudra, when you touch the thumb with the pointing finger and leave the other three fingers, that mudra, like in some language they say very good, in some language in a different order they say money, beautiful, nice. So this in Shastra is Chinmudra, showing that this is identity. This is called, this is Jiva and that is Brahman. Jiva and Brahman are one. So to show that, this is called in different names, with different names. Some people call it Chinmudra, some people call it Bhadra Mudra, some people call it Lopa Mudra, etc. Okay, and some call it as Tarka Mudra also. So this mudra, through this mudra, Nirdishtebhyo Shishebhyo, so Shishebhya, he is teaching his disciples, defectless disciples. Okay, Upadishantam. Upadishantam, he is teaching. Gunatitam Shri Sadgurum Tadrushuhu. This Sadguru, who is beyond all the three gunas, Sattva, Raja, and Tama guna are identified with people. With Guru, we don't identify him with any gunas. Because Brahman, Brahmavit, Brahmaiva Bhavati, the knower of self, verily is the self. When they say he is verily the self, then how can there be association with gunas? Association with guna means it is in the realm of ignorance. In the realm of self, there is no association with any gunas. Understand? So, he, the one, the Sadguru, who is beyond all the three gunas, they saw him. Dadrushuhu, they saw him. Okay? Now, Kailase Maha Bhandira Vatamule Sanakadibhya Tattvapadeshantam Paramashivam Shri Dakshinamurtimiva Te Tam Vibhavya Sashtangam Pranipatya Moksha Ichchaya Yathavidhi Tam Sharanam Gataha Tannikate Shanmasan Brahmacharya Mojohu. Okay, they found him and then directly, okay, sir, Swamiji, I want to understand this. No. They saw him. How did they see him? How did they perceive him? He says, Kailase. In the Kailasha, Kailasha is the abode of Shiva. Mount Kailasha, Himalayas. Mahabhandira Vatamule. In the huge, there are different kinds of Vatavrakshas, banyan trees. In Kailasha, they say there is a huge Vatavraksha, which leaves of which there are, even here there are two different banyan trees we can see. One banyan tree with a small leaves where too many shoots, and there are other banyan tree which does not have the shoots. And this banyan tree in Kailasha, they say it has leaves which are huge. You can take a leaf and make it as a mat. That kind of big, huge leaves they are. Under that tree, Sanakadibhya, to the Sanaka, etc., 4 disciples, Vruddha, Shishya, Guru, Yuvaha, in Dakshinamurti Stotra, it is said, the disciples are old and the teacher is young. So he says, okay, Tattvam Padishantam, to that Sanakadi, etc., he was teaching the truth. Who? Paramashivam, the Paramashiva, the Shiva himself, in the form of Dakshinamurti, Dakshinamurti, in the form of Dakshinamurti. Like that, Te Tam Vibhavya, these 3 sons, they saw him, they perceived him, they understood him to be that Shiva himself. Sashtangam pranipatya. And then the first duty of the disciple is the moment you see your guru, you have to prostrate. Sashtangam, they did that. Pranipatya, saluting him with all the 8 limbs touching the ground. Moksha ichya yatha vidhim, desiring the moksha, yatha vidhi, as prescribed, tam sharanam gataha, they took refuge in him. And tan nikate shanmasan brahmacharya mushu, they stayed practicing celibacy, serving him. You don't go there directly and ask questions. You stay there, serve him, and then, like in the previous chapter we saw, when the guru is pleased with your service and he asks, okay, what do you want? Then you ask, can I ask a question? I want and understand this. That is the order. So they first went there and started serving him. Tataha Shri Sadguru Prasanna Bhutva Madhuraya Gira Kena Prayojanena Agataha Yuyam Ke Yuyam Kuto Agatra Atra Agamanam Iti Tan Papracha. After 6 months, they are staying in the ashram for 6 months, serving him, stay eating and things like that. He didn't even ask who are they. they were not asked to produce any ID card. Okay, who are you? Produce your ID card. Okay, yes, no, nothing. They were staying, serving and waiting for the proper time. Shri Sadguru Prasanno Bhutva, after 6 months, seeing their service, Guru became very satisfied, pleased. Then Madhuraya Gira, in a very sweet voice, Kena Prayojanena Agataha Yuyam. What is the reason you people came to me? For what reason do you people came to me? Keyum, who are you people? Kutova Atragamanam. Why did you come here? What is the reason? Iti tan parpracha. These were the questions he put to those disciples, those students, those prince. Tada tattva mat भ्रात्रोः इंगितज्ञः सांजलिपुटः savinayam tat pratyabravit. Tattvadrishti is the one who is answering. What? Tattvadrishti is the smart among the three. Uttama Sishya he is. So, Bhratroho Ingitagnaha. He understood the brothers' situation. They are expecting him to answer. The brothers, the other 2 brothers are expecting him to answer. And they were showing some gestures. So, through the gestures, he understood. So he understood that the son, the 2 brothers want him to answer, take lead. So Sanjali Putaha Savinayam Pratyabravit, with folded hands and with great amount of humility, humbleness, he answered the Guru. Tattvadrishti Guror Anumatim Prarthyate. Tattvadrishti asks the permission of the Guru. Hey Bhagavan, Vayam Trayopi Bhratarah Shubhasantatehe Rajnyah Kumaraha Ajnyaha Atyantam Shochyaha Nijasurupa Jigyasavaha Bhavantam Sharanam Gataha. Hey Bhagavan, O Lord, Vayam Trayopi Bhratarah, we 3 are brothers. Shubhasantatehe Rajnyah Kumaraha, we are sons of this king called Shubhasantati. Ajnaha, we are ignorant. All 3 of us are ignorants. Atyantam Shochyaha, and we are in great pain. Nijasurupa Jigyasava, and we desire to understand, know our true nature, our true self. Therefore, Bhavantam Sharanam Gataha, we have taken refuge in him. We have surrendered ourselves to you. Bhavani Kripa Samudraha Kalpataru Chintamani Kamadhenu Vacha Virajyate. Bhavani Kripa Samudraha, and you are ocean of compassion. Kalpataru. Kalpataru, these three names, Kalpataru, Chintamani, Kamadhenu. These three names, they are explaining the nature of Guru. Kalpataru is a tree, wish fulfilling tree. Kamadhenu is a wish fulfilling cattle, cow. And Chintamani is a wish fulfilling bead or a precious stone. So, a tree, a precious stone, a cow, which are wish fulfilling. And you are like that wish fulfilling tree called Kalpataru. You are like that wish fulfilling tree, wish fulfilling precious stone like Chintamani, or you are like that wish fulfilling cow called Kamadhenu. Like that, you are staying here, you are sitting here to fulfill our wishes. Vayam tu dukkhavasham vadaha, and we are in great pain. We are under the grasp of great pain. Yadi ajnaha diyate tarhi asmat abhiprayam nivedayama. Yadi ajna diyate tad yadi ajna diyate tarhi asmat abhiprayam nivedayama. If you give us permission, then we will express our desire, what we came here for. Iti tattva drishti praha. This is what tattva drishti said. For that, Guru answers, Hey Shishya, Shrunume vachaha, tat shravanena twad hrudaya granthayah samshayascha samulam unmilitaha bhaveyuhu twamcha paramanandam prapnuyah iti. Guru avochat, and Guru said, Hey disciple, hey Shishya, hey disciple, Shrunume vachaha, listen to me, listen to my words. Why? Tat shravanena, if you listen to that, Tvad hridaya granthaya samshayascha samulam unmilita bhaveyu. The heart of the knot of the heart and the doubts which are there in the heart, your mind, they will be rooted out completely. Tumcha paramanandam prapnuya, and you will gain the absolute bliss. So therefore, listen. 127. Moksha अभिव्यंजकः तत्वदृष्टि प्रश्नः. Muksha तत्वदृष्टि प्रश्न. Tattva-drishti is putting this question to show his desire for realization. What is he saying? Shri Guroho karunyam nyatva hrudayananda sandoha tundilaha san tattva-drishtihi swa abhilashita karyam siddhamiti nishchitya savinayam papracha. Shri Guroho Karinyam Nyatva. After knowing the compassion of the Guru, Hrudayananda Sandoha Tundilaha is jumping out of joy because his heart is completely filled with joy. Now, son, with that kind of state, he's a more talkative. He's a talkative person, but he is talking out of joy now. Tattva-drishtihi swa abhilashita karyam siddhamiti. He now understood, okay, whatever I came here with, whatever desire, it is fulfilled now. Job is done. Very good. Iti nishchitya, with this determination, savinayam papracha, he asked with humility. Hey Bhagavan, again, oh Lord, Bhavan kripanidhi, Shri Sadashiva Dakshinamurti Samaha Sarvajnaha. You are ocean of compassion or repository of compassion. Kripa Nidhi. Here he says Kripa Nidhi. Kripa Nidhi. Kripa Samudra. Earlier Kripa Samudra, Kripa Sagra. Kripa Samudra means ocean of compassion. Kripa Nidhi means repository of compassion. You are repository of compassion. Shri Sadashiva Dakshinamurti Samaha Sarvajnaha. You are omniscient like Shri Sadashiva or Shri Dakshinamurti. Vayam tu sarve ajnaha. You are sarvajna, sarve ajnaha, and we are sarve ajnaha. Sarve means we all. Ajnaha means ignorant. You are sarvajna, sarve ajna. Sarvajna, sarve ajna. Play with words. We are ignorance. We are all ignorance. Janana Marnadi, Dukkharupa Samsara Vibhi. And we are completely afraid of this samsara of birth and death. Asmakam tan nivrittehe paramananda praptescha upaya vaktavya. Please tell us a means to get rid of this samsara and gain this absolute bliss. Nana prakara upasanani karmani cha anushritani. And what have we done? What have we done? That also should be said. He explains, Nana prakara upasanani karmani cha anushritani. We have practiced different kinds of karmas and different kinds of upasanas, meditations. We have practiced, we have done all the karmas and we have performed good amount of meditation. Naiva asmad abhilashit artha siddham siddhi abhut. And still we have not accomplished whatever we wanted. We have performed enough karmas, but we have not accomplished anything. For people who think that karmas can give the absolute bliss, that is impossible. That is established. His intelligence is shown there. We have performed that, but we know that it is not the be-all. Don't say, oh, perform the karmas. We have performed enough karmas. Not without performing, he says. We have to understand. When people enter they study a little bit of Vedanta, they think they know, they become a smart, whatever, and they start saying, oh, I don't want to perform karmas. I don't want to enter into the cycle of karma. Without performing karma, you cannot have the focus, etc. So karmas are important, must. We have to perform karmas as much as possible, because without that punya, we will not be able to understand the truth. So he says, we are not saying we don't want to perform karmas. We have performed enough karmas. If you still say, continue, we will do it. But we have performed enough. And still, we have not gotten rid of this samsara. And we have not gained the desired results. Pratyuta samsaratmaka bandha eva dridhi bhavati. Now, what we see is, we have not just not gained the desired results, but also we understand that our bondage with samsara is becoming even more stronger after this. Karmas beget karmas. It's a cycle, cannot be cut off. So they understand that also. How smart they are. Tasmat, therefore, yena upayantarena vayam kritarthaha bhavema tam upayam asman shadi bhoho. We have taken refuge in you. Please teach us. What? Teach us that method through which we will gain our desired liberation, our desired result. Kritarthaha, vayam kritarthaha means whatever having performed, nothing needs to be performed. That state, we want to gain that absolute. Please teach us a method to gain that absolute. This is what he asks. Okay. Jnanopadesha 128 to 168. Now the Guru is teaching. What does he say? 128. Shishyasya moksha bhrantijanya iti upadanapurvakam mahavakyartha upadesha. What does he say? Shishyasya moksha bhrantijanya iti upadanapurvakam. The desire of the disciple. What is the desire of the disciple? To gain liberation. Because they are bound, they want to gain liberation. So, first, Guru is establishing that whole idea itself is because of some erroneous knowledge. Self is never bound, nor can it be released from any bondage. It can be liberated. Only when there is bondage, then can be liberation. When there is no bondage, where can be the liberation? So, the idea of liberation is impossible because there is no bondage. And how do I understand that I am bound? That is because of a erroneous knowledge. That is why you want to be liberated from that. From there he starts. And how does he establish the non-duality? He says, Mahavakyartha Upadesha. By explaining that the whole idea is because of erroneous knowledge, he is explaining the non-duality, the absolute bliss through Mahavakya Upadesha, the ultimate sentence. Anywhere there is no escape. If you enter Vedanta, if you want to understand the truth, you have to encounter this Mahavakya. You have to face this Mahavakya. There is no other way. Understanding Mahavakya properly, the ultimate statement properly, only then can we gain the knowledge of the identity of individual self with absolute self. Mahavakya is the statement which gives the identity between the individual self and absolute self. Jiva Brahma Aikya Bodhaka Vakya Mahavakya. The statement which gives you the knowledge of identity between individual self and absolute self is a Mahavakya. So, Guru teaches them that. Atyantika Dukkha Nivritti Paramananda Praptischa Moksha iti Kathyate. You say that getting rid of the sorrows, the pains completely and gaining the absolute bliss. This is what you claim to be moksha. You claim to be moksha. Okay. Sishyasya moksha ichcham nyatva guruhu tadupaya bhutam vedanta eka samadigamyam jnanam upadishati. Understanding this desire of these disciples, Guru explains the only means which is possible to get rid of this bondage. That which can be gained only through the Vedantic statements. Vedanta eka samadigamya. That which can be gained only through the Vedanta. That knowledge he gives them. Jnana upadishati. That knowledge he instructs them in. Jnana surupasya nana shastreju nana prakarena uktatvepi jiva brahma bheda nivartaka jnanasya eva moksha sadhanatvena bhavedeshu pratipaditatvat tadrisham eva jnana upadishati. Now, what is knowledge? He is giving the knowledge. That is why it is what he says. The knowledge of that knowledge that can be gained only through Vedanta, that knowledge he is explaining. Now, yesterday, while discussing this, we saw there are people who claim Vedas teach the duality. There are other people who claim Vedas teach the semi-duality. There are other people who claim Vedas teach duality and non-duality. This is different from semi-duality. Duality and non-duality. How duality and non-duality? When you perceive it from one angle, it is duality. When you perceive it from another angle, it is non-duality. Simple. The same thing is what is seen as dual and non-dual. In this way, there are different schools which claim to be teaching Vedanta. But Veda Anta. Veda means the scriptures. Anta means essence. The essence, the essential truth of Vedas cannot be like what the kids say. The kids, when you ask them, have you performed the homework? Yes. Have you really performed the homework? Oh, okay. Yes. Really? Partially. Really? I've just started. Really? I will do it now. There are now, does the kid say what the kid says? Is it a lie? No, it's not a lie. They are all different layers of truth. They are all different layers of truth. They are not lie. This is what the news agencies peddle. Half truths. So he says, all these people, different people, teach different things. That is what they claim to be Vedanta, and that is what they claim to be knowledge, and that is what they claim to be the means for liberation. Now, among this, what are you going to teach? That should be established. So he says, Jnana Surupasya Nana Shastreshu Nana Prakarana Uktatvepi. Though the knowledge is explained in different shastras in different ways, Jiva Brahma Bheda Nivartaka Jnana Seva Moksha Sadhanatvena Vedeshu Pratipaditatvat. As the identity between the individual self and absolute self, the knowledge of identity between the individual self and absolute self is what is established in the Vedas as the means for liberation, the means for moksha. Therefore, Tadrishameva Jnana Upadishati, that kind of knowledge is what the Guru is teaching. Hey Shishya, now the Guru says, O disciple, Paramananda Vapto, Janana Maranadi Dukha, Rupa Samsara Nivurtocha, Tava Utpanna Icha, Branti Janya iti avehi. Iti avehi. Paramananda Vapto, to gain the absolute bliss, and Janamarana Dukkha, the Samsara Nivurtocha, to get rid of the samsara of the cycle of birth and death. Tau utpannecha, the desire which you have to gain the absolute and get rid of this cycle of birth and death is a Bhranti Janya Evaiti. Avehi. Understand that desire is only because of erroneous knowledge. Desire of getting rid of the samsara of cycle of birth and death, or gaining the absolute bliss. Both are erroneous. I am not saying that is erroneous, not this. This is erroneous, not that. No, both are erroneous. Desiring to gain the absolute bliss is erroneous. As erroneous as desiring to get rid of the samsara. How? Yataha, because tum nisargataha eva nirtishya paramananda suruposi. Because inherently you are of the nature of absolute bliss. Inherently you are of the nature of absolute bliss. Tasmat sada paramananda surupena eva satah tava punah tat prapti icha na yujyate. Therefore, being always that absolute self, your desire for gaining the absolute bliss is not possible. It's not logical. If you say, I want to gain something which is not you or which you don't possess, then that is a logic. But what you are talking about is yourself and which you already possess. To gain that is highly logical. So he says, Tayenna praptam tan labhaya uchitaiva icha. Whatever is not gained, to gain that, if you have desire, that is logical. That is right. Tvatswarupam tu tvaya sarvada praptameva iti ityatah tat praptaye tava jayamana icha brahma mantra na sangachati. And your inherent nature is always already gained by you. You can neither get rid of it nor gain it. It is ever existent. When this is so, the desire to gain that which is already there, which is already gained, that cannot be explained in any other way other than erroneous knowledge. It being a delusion, it being a wrong knowledge. If I want to clean a white cloth which is already clean, thinking that there is that dark spot, etc., that dark spot which is only visible for me, then the problem is not with the cloth or the other people who can't see it. It is the problem with me. I should have to get rid of my problem. I cannot say, you people don't see this problem. This is I can see this. None of them see. Oh, we can give logic for both ways. Like, oh, owls don't see the sunrise. Does that mean there is no sun? Or there's no sunrise? No. We can give logic to counter them. But the problem is when only you see and no one else sees that or hears that, then that is not real. So this fellow, Guru is saying, this fellow, you disciple, whatever you are already desiring to gain that which you have already gained, cannot be explained in any other way other than us accepting it as a erroneous knowledge. Therefore, kincha, moreover, Janamarnadi rupa samsara yadi kadachit tvai abhut tada tava tannivrte ichho uchitaya bhavet. See, in some way or other, if you have the association with the cycle of birth and death and samsara, then in some way, if you have association, some kind of association with this, then your desire to get rid of that is logical, is right. I accept that. Vastutastu, in reality, sa samsara ishadapi kalatrayepi nasti eva toyi. In reality, in all the 3 periods of time, and even a little bit, even for namesake, there is no association with you. There is no association in you, with you, for you, with this samsara, this birth and death. Even a little bit of association, namesake association. Tasma, therefore, kalatrayepi avidyamanasya samsara dukkasya nivrtsa te brahma mantra naghate. Therefore, without explaining it to be erroneous knowledge, there can be no explanation possible for this desire of getting rid of that samsara, getting rid of that cycle of birth and death. Hey Sishya, O disciple, त्वं तु जन्म मरणादि सर्व संसार शून्य चिन्मात्र स्वरूप ब्रह्मैवासि. O disciple, you are the absolute bliss, devoid of any association of cycle of birth and death. You are that absolute consciousness. Tasmat, therefore, masmara kadapi janamarnadi dukkha rupam samsaram. Therefore, never remember anything regarding the cycle of birth and death, the samsara. Don't even think about it. Masmara means don't even think about it, because that has nothing to do with you. Why do you think about things which are not regarding, which have nothing to do with you? So there the disciple asked some counter questions. We'll see this. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.